Hey guys, it's Staci and Hutch, and apparently our bosses thought that we didn't talk enough.
So we're going to do a podcast.
We're going to say too much. Hopefully we don't get fired, but it's a podcast, so they can't fire us for having our own thoughts.
And we don't get paid for this, so how can you fire from something that you don't actually do for a job?
You're not getting paid?
No, are you?
Let's start the podcast. Hey everybody, it is Staci and Hutch. Say too much. In fact, Staci is at a meeting when we recorded this, so she's not here. But Mr. Paul Folger is here.
Hello, my friends.
Hello, my friends.
I found my way to the podcast.
I know. It's pretty crazy to have you in here so early in the morning. People don't know this. We record this at 9, and usually you and I don't work until 1.
Yeah. I don't go to work until 2.
Jeez. Just when we're starting.
The later, the better.
We got a really good show for you today. We got snack chat we got to do. We got some foods. New foods we're going to try. In fact, I'll show you what we got.
I can't wait to see what this is going to be.
It is a new Pop-Tart.
I love... Pop-Tarts.
It is Eggo Waffle Pop-Tart.
Eggo Waffle?
Yes.
Wow. They actually have what? Is that a Argyle pattern on the front of it?
Yeah, they do, actually.
Wow.
I don't know if
nice.
that's supposed to be the butter.
This better
syrup,
look this way because the package looks really awesome.
Yeah, doesn't it? It looks really good. So we're going to see if it tastes actually like a egg or a Pop-Tart tastes like a waffle.
Where's the toaster?
You toast yours?
You're supposed to toast them.
Nah, whatever.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's called a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Pop out of the toaster. Right?
Oh, that's what that means.
Yeah. I mean,
No, it's a tart.
no, Pop-Tart.
Oh, whatever.
So,
And then another breakfast
fine.
item.
What?
These
Well,
are
at least
new.
it's early.
I already opened them.
Sweet biscuits with honey butter.
Yeah, you're a biscuit guy.
That's another baking item. Is that
Right.
going to be raw dough?
No, no, we don't bake them. They're in pouches. You just
What?
pop them in your mouth. So we'll
Cold?
do that. Yeah. Well, they're
Biscuits-
not cold. I mean, they're not cold.
Okay. I'm excited. I'll eat anything.
Let's introduce our podcast producer, Mr. Ross.
Hey, Ross.
Yeah.
Hey, I made it back for round 2. How about that?
Yeah, it's surprising that you actually enjoyed the first one. I don't know if you enjoyed it, but you had to come back to
I
this one.
enjoyed the treats.
There you go. Well, we got more coming up for you here in just a second. But first, we're really excited to talk with this guy. He left the business after 25 years of TV. You know all about this, you know. It's crazy that he just got up and left to start something new. So we had an interview and talked earlier with Eric Perkins, formerly from Care 11, and had a great conversation. So check it out right now. All right. We are here with Mr. Eric Perkins, formerly of Care 11. Eric, thank you for joining Paul and I. Staci's out, so you got two dudes just staring at your face.
We're just hanging.
That's always the toughest because it was like I remember when I'd go out on stories and like you go to a town and people were all excited that Care 11 was there and they'd ask, "Is Belinda coming?" And no, it's just me. And then they were, it's the same
I'm
thing
familiar with that.
Without Staci, it's kind of like, no, I'm just kidding. Paul, it's great to meet you. Good
It's nice to see you,
Hutch.
Perk.
No, glad we're dialing this in.
You know, when you said and announced you were leaving Care 11 after 25 years and you said, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, you know, in my head, I'm going, that's just a typical TV guy. He has every plan set out. He knows what he's doing. And it's because of contracts. It's because of something. When you left Care 11, I thought it was kind of abrupt, even though you gave like a couple of months notice. Did you know what you were doing? You didn't know what you were doing.
That's the beauty of this whole thing is that that was kind of like this great notion is that there was definitely a plan in place and that we were just waiting 6 months for the non-compete to end and then I'd be joining Fox 9 or KSTP or something like that. But that was never the plan. The plan was to depart gracefully from a place that I had a great run at and that I have no burnt bridges over. And that gave me so many great opportunities to kind of establish myself in this marketplace. And I left without much of a succinct or definitive plan. It was just sort of like, all right, I'm going to cast a wide net and figure out what else is out there. But I just know this job and this role has run its course. And it took a couple years to really hone in on that and identify that. as my heart not being totally in the job anymore. And from that point on, it made it a lot easier to make that decision. Obviously, there's some trepidation and some some angst and anxiety when it comes to just leaving without a plan or without any kind of landing spot in place. But I've been really encouraged by what I've found out there, and it's an exciting time for sure.
I think sometimes, Perk, when you think you say, my heart is not in that place. I think maybe what's happening is it's the next calling for you where you're like, okay, there is something else I've got to do. There's something else that's next. And it's just figuring out, okay, where is that spot? Because sometimes you don't know until all of a sudden you look up and you're there. And this is the place I need to be,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that honestly, Paul, like there's this, obviously there's the talk of the Great Resignation, and a lot of people getting their perspectives realigned in that time of COVID, when a lot of people were working from home and maybe reevaluating what was important in their lives. But I also think that it's just sort of like, it's all I've done is television and local television, frankly. I mean, really, it was. I was in Tupelo, I was in Memphis, and then I was here in the Twin Cities. And I mean, when it was all said and done, it added up to about 30 years. I mean, and it's just sort of like, it was like you challenge yourself so much and find ways to evolve. But over time, it just was like, okay, there's such a been there, done that with all this now. And it was a giant hamster wheel that left me no sense of passion anymore. And it was like, kind of like, I'm just thrilled that I was able to kind of really find an exit strategy and get out while I could, because like I said, I did love it, but it was just like, it's all I'd ever done. And there's so many things that I still kind of want to experience and ways that I want to flex, and I want to, get out there and try different muscles or whatnot. And I don't know, the thought of like, dwindling sportscast times. I was getting 2 minutes every night in the final 6 months there, and we were, kicked to the curb to the end of the newscast, and it was just like the prioritization of sports. It was dwindling more and more, despite the fact that we have such an unbelievable and rich sports market, that it was just, there was some frustration there. I'm not going to lie.
What happens when in your mind, you're like, I'm going to make the decision to leave something I'm so familiar with and then go into a whole, it's not really a new area for you, I don't think, but content creation is different than what you were doing, the 2 minutes, or, spending time watching sports, and moving into this new area, which is got to be crazy, but also scary at the time, because it's not like you're going from one job to another salaried job. You're going to a whole new place where you got to create your own income, and it all relies on you.
Yeah.
Did I scare you a little bit more?
No, that's been eye-opening and super fun and super challenging. But like, it's like, I didn't even know that it was content creation that I wanted to go in, for sure. It was just kind of like, when I say I cast a wide net, I cast a wide net. I mean, I was meeting with a lot of different people in a lot of different sectors and industries. And I just kept leaning back into that creative and into, I mean, that's my happy place, is being creative and developing content, collaborating with like-minded people, and coming up with great storytelling and great ways to share messages and whatnot. And I'm not one of these sports guys that is a total sports guy. I'm not one of these guys that listens to K-Fan ad nauseum and, breaks down the third string cornerback situation of the Vikings. I'm just not. I've never been that way. And I do I know sports? Absolutely. Do I love sports? Absolutely. Do I love play and recreation? For sure. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there was definitely that was definitely my lane in a lot of ways, but ultimately it wasn't like my absolute calling. I didn't have to stay in sports. I didn't love it that much. And frankly, having covered as much as I did over the years, I think the only thing that I left on the table was the Vikings not winning a Super Bowl. Frankly, that was the only thing that I really wanted to see, that I was really hoping I'd get to see, especially in 2019, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my, don't get me started on that.
So now, with content creation, what are some of the cool things that you've already come upon that you're really excited about? I mean, as you head down this road and this journey.
Well, the good thing about it, Paul, is that like there's this sort of like, I've assembled a really talented crew. I have some, incredibly gifted storytellers in their own right that I'm aligning with, and there's ways to tell stories, but then what I also bring to the table, I think, with Perk and Play Productions, is that, without sounding too full of myself, is that I have my own brand, right? And so companies or businesses or nonprofits or whoever else can not only just align with our storytelling capabilities, but they can align with me as an endorser or as a brand ambassador, or as I can kick into Perk mode and do some really fun interactive stuff too. And there's just so many spaces to play in these days, whether it's on websites or whether it's in social media or whether it's, I mean, do you know what I'm saying? I just think that there's a lot of opportunities with event hosting or public speaking and you name it, it goes down the line, and it's sort of all fitting under this Perk and Play Productions umbrella. And that's kind of how we're rolling with it all.
And I think the expertise that you bring, I mean, as a broadcaster for so many years, is that you're able to go to a company who says, hey, we want to get our message out there. And sometimes it's the most simple thing in their place, in their business, that really tells an amazing story. Because as a storyteller, you're really looking for something that someone else might say, okay, this is kind of mundane, but really you can make it fun and interesting to other people. And that's where I think the skill of doing this for so many years is what you can really bring to a table in something like this.
I couldn't have said it any better. Like that's absolutely the case. Like, there's I don't want to name the business right now, but there's one organization that I'm working with that does incredible things, but their message is so all over the map and so muddled, and so they've brought me in, enlisted me in the hopes that I can kind of like streamline that story and streamline that message and make it compelling and get it out there in an interesting and captivating way. And I think that that's something that we have just been able to sort of master or do so much that we're really good at over the years in the business of daily news. And it's just, we do it literally on a daily basis in local television. And it's just like, you have to be able to present things in a really summative and interesting way. And I think that that's definitely part of our craft that we've been gifted with.
One thing I know, our company, I haven't worked for Tegna or Care 11, but I know at least in our company, one thing that we've been good at is identifying that our business is changing here, whether it's TV or radio. And I feel like looking at stuff that you've done and stuff that Care 11 has done, the business is changing. And if companies don't grow with it or realize that extra digital stuff has to be done. There's extra podcasts that have to be done, and there's extra video vignettes that have to be posted only online for people to see. I mean, you see it on late night shows. Does anyone really watch Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel in its entirety from 11 or 10:30 on? They don't. We watch James Corden's clips of Carpool Karaoke. And so you kind of identified that, and you brought it local. Is that kind of where I'm at?
Yeah, I mean, it's the stuff is so broken down in digital bites nowadays, and it's so the content part of that business had to evolve and is still evolving. I think initially it was like, I think when it all started to go that direction, it was like, all right, we got to put more emphasis on Facebook. Let's start doing these Facebook lives and doing all this. And then it was like, wait, now YouTube is actually, what, we really got to shift towards YouTube. And then it was like, let's try these Vines, and let's try these TikToks, and let's try these Instagram lives and Instagram Reels and Instagram stories. And it was just like kind of like the next thing we're just feeding so many beasts and spreading ourselves all over the place. Let's face it, and our workload probably grew exponentially, and and oftentimes in this business, salaries didn't always match up with that.
Do you miss it?
No, I don't. I thought I would. No, I'm being 100% frank. I've been asked that several times, and I don't. There's not much I do miss about it at all, other than some of the great people that I worked with there. I didn't know. I thought maybe I would. I thought maybe oh shoot, when spring training rolls around, I would love to be with the Twins again down in Fort Myers. I mean, that's a good gig, don't get me wrong, but there's just so little about. I think when it really hit me that I didn't miss it was when the Vikings lost on the road in Glendale, Arizona, when Greg Joseph missed a field goal to beat the Cardinals in week whatever it was, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would have to be in that locker room right now trying to talk to a dejected kicker and turn it around for a live shot a couple hours later. And then,
how does
whatever.
that feel? Well,
yeah.
What do you think?
Instead, I'm on my couch, right, watching it HD, eating nachos, and just hanging out with my kids. And it was just this is a lot better. And this is like, it's nice to have my Sundays back.
Is Randy Shaver more pretty in HD or in person? Which one do you agree with there?
I'll say this: he still has had unflappable hair over the years. Randy's the man. I'm not gonna.
It's the wish we all want.
Doing it for,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, perfect hair. You know, when you talk about this, and I think, Perk, this is the thing that you have done for so many years. You've been able to connect with people because beyond, you as a sports person sitting there in front of the camera, it's really this Perk at Play that has made it for viewers in a way, and the people to get to know you, that they're like, hey, I know something else about this guy. And I think that's what's really important in a message when you're working with these companies, that you're trying to help them get that message out and say, look, people want to know more than, well, we sell trinkets. Why do we sell trinkets? Well, it's really getting that connection of like, okay, we sell these trinkets to you because they're enhancing your life and they're going to bring it with you and you're going to know something about it. And I think that's what Perk at Play. When I go back and I looked at some of your old videos, you get to know that, God, this guy, he does this. He's not afraid to step out of the box and do something kind of fun. And that's what people want to see, is that authenticity so much right now.
That's so sweet, Paul. Thanks for saying that. One of the things that one of my best compliments I had ever received was when somebody would say, hey, you know what? I don't even watch sports and I love watching you. That was like, I don't even care about sports, but my wife loves watching you. And it was just kind of like, oh my God, that's awesome right there. Because I think that, that means that I'm reaching that wider audience and a deeper demographic. And frankly, I think that there's also this fine line you walk in the sports world, is that, I can do this fun clown show, goofy kind of things. And let's face it, I made a pretty good run at that. But I also, in sports, there's also like a lot of serious stories and a lot of like heartbreaking stories too. And so we have to kind of walk that line and know where that line is and kind of be really versatile in that regard, as you do as a news guy too. I know, and I'm sure Hutch does on the radio too. It's just kind of like you learn how to balance, you learn how to be diverse, you learn how to speak on many levels. And I think that ultimately is going to serve me really well in this next chapter with Perk and Play Productions. Is that I can present things in a really fun way and engaging. But I can also, stay on message and stay on brand and get the nuts and bolts across and get the who, what, why, where, when, but also have fun with it. So I think that learning those balances over time has served me well too.
How hard is it to know that whatever you do on, whether it's broadcast or once you put something out or you do something live, that it's out there forever? Because I think you know where I'm going with this. When you fell asleep on TV after a really long day, that lives forever. I didn't even know about it until Staci said, "Hey, did you know this happened?" So tell us about what happened there and how you feel about all this living on this digital space where you can't take it back.
Yeah, here's the thing is that, and I'll address that sleeping incident here in a sec. But like what I learned over a long time ago was that I had to stop caring so much about what people thought of me, and I just had to like live this authentic, true personality on TV and do the work that I wanted to do it that my bosses were happy.
Was it because of that moment, or did you find that out earlier?
I discovered that earlier is when I started getting emails from haters or whatever. But like, I just think that like you're never going to please everybody, right? I mean, there's always people out there that are going to be detractors or not like your vibe or not like your style or not like your hair, in my case. But there ultimately you just have to say, all right, well, what am I doing this for? I mean, because I'm not gonna please 100% of the population. So I'm just going to do the best work I can and go from there. And I think once I kind of came to terms with that, it was a lot more liberating. I was able to let a lot more stuff fly and throw a lot more stuff at the wall. As far as the sleeping on camera thing went, that ended up on like Anderson Cooper had that on CNN. It was on all these crazy ones. So what happened on that was that it was, and this is what I don't tell people, I do. I'll tell people that ask, but like it was a bit. It was 100% a bit, and like it was daylight savings time. Daylight saving time. And so we were springing forward, and Sven was doing the weather, and I told Rena, I go, I'm gonna pretend like I'm asleep since we're already losing an hour of sleep tonight, because I'm getting a head start on my sleep because this was a 10 o'clock news. And so like I was thinking in my head, well, it's actually like 11:15 now, so I'm gonna start dozing off. And she's like, okay, whatever. And then so I did, and then she played right along with it on camera and acted like I was asleep. And then I sold it, and then I snapped out of it and said, oh no, and that's the part that got cut off from all those clips that were out there. And I think I sold it a little bit too well, because obviously.
Rena played it up amazingly. I mean, she could have gotten an Academy Award with you.
Oh my gosh.
It was she did a really good job, because Staci and I were looking at that and we're like, oh my God, like he must be overworked.
Yeah. No, it was 100% a bit, but I just kind of like didn't really tell a lot of people that because I liked the traction that it was getting.
It was good. Listen, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Oh my gosh.
Man, we're so excited for you. Since I moved here in 2006, I've always enjoyed watching you. I mean, now I enjoy watching Paul Folger because he's sitting next to me.
Yes.
And I get paid from the same company that employs him. So I can't wait. I know you recently got your first big client, so congratulations on that one.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I'll be teaming up with Gens Ryan and doing a lot of stuff for them, and I'm frankly working on several others. So it's an exciting time for sure right now.
My favorite comment was on Instagram when someone said, "Are you going to be installing water heaters?"
Hey, it's a great skill, man. There's a lot of money in that.
Yeah, no doubt. But perkatplay.com, if I can plug my website, and that's where people can reach us if they want to team up and align with us. And anything goes. We're open and willing to take just about any kind of meeting about it. But yeah, kudos to you, Staci and Hutch. Listen to you guys all the time on the afternoons show. I think you guys are awesome.
We will. We'll get you in to play smarter than Staci. You're welcome in the show anytime, bud.
Dude. I don't know. She's like sneaky smart sometimes, but then there's other times where it's just like, oh my God, Staci.
Man, we can, and of course, Rank You too. We should talk about Rank You.
We started a podcast. Yeah, it was just like, so yeah, thanks. It's called Rank You Very Much. I'm doing it with Paul Fletcher from Cities 97, who's awesome. And we're also teaming up with Ellie Mark, who's the reigning Miss Minnesota. And we're basically just cranking out a bunch of podcasts every week called Rank You Very Much. And in it, we rank everything from best things to put on a cheeseburger to best Taylor Swift songs, and like we just have fun with it. It's like there's a lot of like true crime and heavy stuff out there, but we wanted something light that you can plug in quick while you're running your kids to soccer or whatever and have fun with it. And then so yeah, check it out. It's Rank You Pod on all the social platforms, and it's Rank You Very Much on the podcast.
I love it.
We can't wait to see what you're going to do coming up, and follow all your socials and all that stuff. So it's good to see you back on, I guess, the screen again, really.
Yeah, I even shaved for this, bro.
Really?
Wow.
Look at you.
Yeah.
That's pretty important.
Yeah.
I see. I figured once you leave TV, you're doing the David Letterman thing, but you really haven't.
It's so awesome. No, dude. Well, I am wearing jammies. But
Now we see. Now we see.
Yeah. You know how it is, Paul.
I know.
Hey, man, thanks. We can't wait to talk to you again or get you in studio. All right, man?
All right. Hey, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Tell all the fine folks at Hubbard I say hi.
We will.
See you, Perk.
So that was a great conversation with Eric. Like, could you even imagine you just getting up and leaving and then trying to start something on your own? I mean, scary.
It would be very daunting to do something like that. So, you just have to say, okay, this is the next thing in life. This is what I want to do. And I think taking the courage to do that is really one of the biggest steps. You just got to go, okay, I'm going to do it. And you pull off the Band-Aid and go for it.
It's insane. So can't wait to see what comes from him in the future.
Indeed.
All right. So are you nervous now? Because we got to play a trivia game.
Listen, is it going to be hard?
Sure. It's
Whatever.
called Pass or Play.
Oh, so I can...
Pass or play, pass or play. Let's play this game. I don't know how she sang it. Staci sang the intro.
You know what we need to do, Hutch?
What?
When we know she's not going to be here, we should pre-record
Just do it.
her singing this for us.
Yeah, I totally forgot to get it, but I forgot how she did it. All right, so here's how Pass or Play works.
Okay.
Pass or Play is one of those games where you may know or may not know the answer, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is getting the point. So if you don't think you know the answer, or you definitely don't know it, you can pass it to me. But know that if you pass it to me, if I get it right, I get the point. If I don't get it right, you get the point.
Oh, if you get it wrong. Oh,
so you have
I'm
to read
banking
my
on
face.
you not knowing.
Correct.
Okay.
So you may
Well,
have
you're
like
going to lose at this. I just want you to know.
Okay, all right. Well, you may think, oh, I think I know this answer, but Hutch definitely doesn't know it. I'm going to pass it to him.
Okay.
Or if you think I may know it, you might want to keep it and guess yourself.
I have years of wisdom on my side in this, so get ready because I'm older than you.
Not that by that much, though.
Well, I'm just saying.
Just
I'm
the
going to
gray
use
hair makes
everything
you look
I
a
can
little older
do
than
to
me,
my
all right?
advantage.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Ross, we are going to start with Pass or Play. Here is the first question.
Question number one.
We'll have Paul start.
Okay. Blink 182 drummer Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian recently said I do in Las Vegas. When Blink 182 was on hiatus before reforming, minus my guy Tom DeLonge, who went off to form his own band and chase aliens and, by the way, find them, co-Blink 182 frontman Mark Hoppus and Travis Barker, they created another band, which included the briefly charting hit When Your Heart Stops Beating. Can you name the name of that band?
Now, is my face bluffing? Do I know it?
I can tell you that Travis Barker saves a lot of money on shirts. Because that man has more tattoos than anyone I have ever seen. And he never wears a shirt, ever.
Can you turn down the music a little bit?
Ever.
It's really loud in my head.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, that was okay. You were hearing that music too. I thought it was just in my head.
No, I hear it too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Whew.
no.
I was like, because I was really feeling a lot of pressure right there.
Well, you
and
still feel the pressure because it's still there. Are you going to play or are you going to pass?
Oh, yes. I'm going to pass.
The band's name was... I have no idea, but I'm going to say Good Charlotte. It's not Good Charlotte, but I'm going to say Good Charlotte.
The band's name was Plus 44.
God, that was a hard question.
I didn't even know.
You told me to make them
I
hard.
know, that was really hard. Okay.
I think there's some easier ones in here, by the way.
So-
That one was hard.
Paul gets the point.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, all-time stats, you lead this game 1-0 over Staci because
Okay.
you won last
So
time.
you're
Okay.
playing for Staci.
Okay.
Don't-
Oh, the
I
pressure
know.
is on now because I don't know. Smarter than Staci, she wins a lot of things.
Question number 2 goes to me.
This former NBA champion, TV analyst, and movie star is now a cookbook author with the release earlier this week of Blank Family Style Championship Recipes for Feeding Family and Friends. Who is the blank in that title? Hutch, pass, or play?
I think I know who it is, but I feel like Paul only has one person to guess, and I think he may be right. So I'm going to play.
Okay.
I'm going to say Shaquille O'Neal.
It is Shaquille O'Neal.
Would you have guessed Shaq?
I would not have, but I really wish the camera had been tight on me because I gave you that look. I gave you the game show look, man.
I thought you knew it.
I like looked up. I looked up at you like, you're never gonna get this. We need a tight shot on this.
We can get a tight
Where
shot.
you're like,
Do you? Oh, you. I see. Sorry.
You want a tight shot on Paul during this game?
That is me missing the cue. My apologies.
There we go.
Can you at least give him that look again?
Yeah, do the look.
okay.
This is why you got to watch the podcast on YouTube.
Love it.
All right. Question goes to Paul now.
And mind you, I did not know that Paul was in for Staci today, so
Okay.
he may have a bit of an inside track here. He may.
Oh, gosh.
KSTP Channel 5 meteorologist Ken Barlow celebrated his 60th birthday this week. Happy belated birthday, Ken. His birthday and the on and off again snowfall this week got me thinking about something, so I went right to Mr. Barlow himself via the email machine. Using average snowfalls for each month, how many months on average have more snowfall than April? Pass or play?
You want a number.
I want a number. So technically there's 12 months in the year. You
How many
know it's not
months
April. So
have more snowfall than April.
Well, we're both going to get, I think this is a guess from both of us.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it'd be a guess for me.
So
You might as well play.
I'll play.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I'll play. I'm going to say how many months have more snowfall than April? And I'm going to say 3.
that was going to be my guess, too.
Probably 0. This probably has the most.
no, the answer is actually 5 months.
Whoa.
5 months. Okay.
January, February, March, November, and December.
Wow.
I won't bore everybody, but if I was to get pushback or questions on this, I took the email from Ken and saved it.
I have no reason not to believe you.
Happy birthday, Ken.
Happy belated birthday, Ken. All right, question number 4.
It's to me.
Per babycenter.com, we have the top, very reputable source, by the way.
Okay.
We have the top 5 boys and girls names of 2021. Can you name one of the top 3 boys or girls names in 2021? Pass or play?
See, we do this stuff on my show.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give me that look. Paul acts like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, we're going to zoom in on that again.
But I'm also guessing they probably do it on the news as well.
Why wouldn't we?
He's kind of, Paul Folger kind of has like the, who's the investigative like Nightline reporter? Who would that be?
Oh, you're talking
I was going to
about-
say like Keith Morrison, but that's
Yeah.
on the competition.
Hugh Downs.
Hugh Downs.
Oh, I loved Hugh Downs.
You know what?
We're in touch, so you be in touch.
I'm gonna be.
And that's 2020
I
for
don't
the
want
night.
anyone touching me. You know what? I'm just to win the game, because if I get this correct, I win the game.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's 2-1 right now.
I'm gonna pass it because I don't want to get it wrong, because I have no idea.
Well, the word is Trevor.
Oh, you're just literally
He's
going
gonna say
right
Trevor.
into it.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me double check. I'm sorry, Paul.
I was hoping I could just win it with confidence.
Yeah.
I said it like I just knew it. Totally knew it.
What are they?
I actually have the top 5. So
Okay,
for
fine.
girls, Olivia is number 1,
That's a good one.
followed by Emma, Amelia, Ava, and Sophia.
Okay. Would have never guessed any of those.
None.
For boys,
Yeah.
and I have heard a few of these, mainly the boy names I've heard. Liam,
Liam,
Noah,
Noah.
Oliver, Elijah, and Lucas.
I would have never guessed any of those.
I
mean-
should have taken Oliver because that's Lindsey Brown's new son. His name
Oh, is it?
Oliver,
Oh,
yeah.
you should have.
I should have
Oh,
just
she's
been
gonna be
like-
so mad at you.
I know.
Do we save question 5 for
We
next
saved
week,
it
or do you
because,
want
Fine.
it?
because guess who won? Me.
I'm sorry, Staci. I'm sorry.
2-0 against Staci. Yeah, you've got to. Staci's gonna be mad at you.
I know, I'm
She
gonna
might
have to
have won
hide.
that one. I don't know. Hey, guess what it's time for? Snack chat.
Yum.
Yum, Eggo waffles.
Are you
Love Pop-Tarts.
hungry? Yes, I am. Yum, 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 yum.
I'm full. All right, so we have. Oh, Rosny here. Here,
See,
Andrew.
I think you could eat it. These are in a
you guys
silver,
can have, try one.
an aluminum.
There you go. Grab one, Ross. Here, I'll take one of yours.
I got one from Andrew, who's off camera, but if he wants to come over here, we can throw him on camera for a quick second.
Okay,
So, Snack Chat.
Wave.
This is a Pop-Tart that's supposed to taste like an Eggo waffle.
it smells like an Eggo waffle.
Oh my God, it does.
Yeah, it does.
All
Good
right.
job.
So we're going to try it and see. It's brand new from Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
So,
I think I tried it too early.
But you got to get into the center of it, though, because that's where the good stuff is.
that's true. Yeah. I mean, it tastes like a Pop-Tart.
Can you guys hear my jaw click on the mic?
A little bit.
Ross, like that.
I don't know. You know what?
Well-
It doesn't taste that much like an Eggo waffle. Right?
Yeah. It tastes kind of like a Pop-Tart.
Right. I was hoping for a more waffly taste. I'm not that impressed.
I don't hate it.
Well, what do you think, Ross?
It's got a Christmas cookie taste to it. You know, like
It's not a waffle taste at all.
No, and I almost bought these earlier this week too.
Well, here, you guys can split them up because I don't want
It's
them.
the aftertaste where I really feel the Eggo coming in.
Yeah, you can.
It's
I'll
like
give
a minute
them.
after, I'm like, oh yeah, it does taste like
Here's
Eggo.
where I'll give them a little bit of credit. I don't know if you can taste the Eggo, but you can taste the syrupy taste.
Yeah,
So I'll give them credit for
I'm
that.
disappointed in that one. Next up for Snack Chat, we have the new mini sweet biscuits, honey butter. And the reason we have these is Paul, he's from the South, if you didn't know.
I know a good biscuit.
And he knows a good biscuit. Now, these are breakfast biscuits, and you're supposed to just open these and eat them. You don't.
Okay.
I mean, you can probably warm them up, but it never doesn't say it as the directions.
Okay.
You guys can grab some too as well. I've already tried them.
Oh, okay.
So I'll give you my
Oh,
opinion
so they
on 'em.
come. You open the package and there's more than one.
Right. There's like
a few in
four
here.
in
They're
them.
little tiny biscuits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show it to your camera once you open it, and then you can see what they look like.
Well, they're teeny tiny. I've never seen a biscuit so small ever.
All right, what you
Okay,
got?
are you ready?
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, to me, I was more impressed with the packaging than I was with the taste.
I'll take the Pop-Tart.
You would? Yeah.
I'd rather have the Pop-Tart.
It's kind of dry, right?
Well, it's sweet. And for me,
You don't like a sweet
in
biscuit?
the South, you got to have a biscuit and gravy and things like that.
Well,
so it's
but
a
that
little
was
bit
your
off.
name. That was your nickname, Sweet Biscuit.
Yeah. And it's just too. It's
What do you think, Ross?
not the right notes for me.
I guess I should have known, but I didn't expect it to be so chewy.
Yeah. It seems a
I was
little undercooked.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be like a biscuit.
It's
but
more
then,
of a doughy kind of
yes.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then thinking about it, how could you have a prepackaged biscuit? So it would almost have to be the way they did it.
Yeah, it's okay. I like the packaging more. Anytime I see that cute little doughboy, I buy it. That's my problem.
Yeah.
All right, we got some food news for you here. We talked about this on the show. Do you remember Coca-Cola Starlight?
Yes, I actually have some in my refrigerator as we speak.
Well, get ready for a new type of pop from Coca-Cola. It's called Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Bite, B-Y-T-E.
Yeah.
It's supposed to taste like pixels.
Pixels.
Back to you, Paul.
Starlight tasted like space, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I tried it, and it kind of smelled like cotton candy to me. But Bite.
Bite is supposed to taste like pixels. Now, you can't get this
What
one
is
in
a pixel?
stores.
Okay.
You have to order it online.
That's
from
too much
Coca-Cola.
work.
I
That's
know.
way too much work.
But it's limited edition as well. But I'm curious as to what pixels taste like.
I don't know. I know what are they pixie sticks?
No, pixels. Like,
But I know what a pixie stick tastes like. Isn't that the straight sugar?
yeah, it has nothing to do with that, Paul.
Fine. We could put that in a Coca-Cola.
Have you ever been to the Masters?
No.
You know, got underway recently. But
Yeah.
one of the most famous thing about the Masters, if you went, was the Georgia peach ice cream sandwiches. Yum. They're not going to be available this year at the Masters.
What do they say is the reason?
Supply chain issues. And we had just talked about that with our cook in the
I
cafeteria.
feel like this is...
Onion rings and chocolate chip cookie dough are also hard to get.
Who doesn't love an onion ring?
The new Pepsi flavor, if we're speaking of pop, maple syrup flavor.
Oh, well, that would be a good breakfast drink.
What,
See,
a dessert
yes.
type of soda?
I mean, a lot of people drink soda for breakfast. I'm okay with that. I drink iced tea for breakfast after my second coffee.
You have that with your Eggo Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too much syrup. That is way
you
too
would
much
be
syrup.
bouncing off the wall.
Oh,
What's the line in Elf? Do you like maple syrup?
Only you would know
Alf.
quotes from Alf.
That is way back.
Oh my God, Alf.
Excellent.
Burger King is being sued by someone claiming their commercials show their burgers much bigger than they actually are. False advertising.
Well, our
They probably have a big
screens today
screener,
at home
so
are
huge.
big. I mean, on television, I look at myself on a 48-inch screen, and I'm like, gosh, my head is huge. It's like twice the size.
And finally, Big Papi, David Ortiz, formerly, is he still with the Red Sox or is he
Recently retired.
recently retired? He was shot,
What?
right?
Yeah, he was. I thought
He was shot in the Dominican Republic.
when you said that.
Oh,
I thought
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was shot in the chest.
I remember now.
when you said that just now, I'm like, again?
Oh, no. In the past, he is introduced. He's not retired completely. He's introduced his own whiskey. And what makes it so special is that the whiskey is aged, not in barrels, but from his baseball bats. Wood from his baseball bats is how the whiskey is aged. It's 100% rye whiskey, and it's aged for 6 years in American oak before being finished for 6 weeks in barrels containing his Maplewood bats.
I wonder if he just throws the bats down in the bucket. How
Must,
does that work?
yeah, it must. He
Or
must
does
just throw a
he-
bat
do
in
you-
a bucket.
Do you make the
You can mix it with the bat.
I don't know. Do you? Yeah. I mean, do
you
they
stir
make?
it?
Do they take the bat? Is it just stirred with the bat all the time, or do you take
I think you're-
all the bats and put them together in
To make
in
a
like
barrel?
a bat? Yeah, barrel.
No, apparently it's not a bat barrel.
Okay.
But because it's aged for 6 years in regular barrels, then it's wood from his baseball bat. I don't know if it's in. I don't know. But here's what it is: it's bottled, and then it's 96.56 proof.
Oh, that's decently strong.
Just a little bit, right? Well, there you go. All right, hey Paul, appreciate you joining us, man.
My pleasure. Anytime.
You know, by the way, Paul, if you want to plug anything you got going on, now's the time to do. You got Instagram, you got TikTok, you got all the things.
Oh yeah, it's all Paul Folger. So that's the easiest way to
How are
find
you
it.
able to get that, Nate? Like,
I jumped on them early, or I think my Instagram might be altogether Paul Folger, all lowercase.
Okay.
And it's not Folgers.
It's Folger.
It's Folger.
and of course, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. You are on anytime after 2, basically, with Kevin and Lindsay.
Yeah, in the evening news.
All
So,
right.
yeah.
There you go.
5, 6, 10,
Nightcast and
10
all
o'clock
that good
nightcast,
stuff.
all those things. See
All
you on
right.
the news.
Yes, we will see Paul Folger on Channel 5 Eyewitness News, and Staci will be back with us, we think, next week. If not, it's Paul Folger. He's going to lose for her again on Pass or Play. Can't wait to tell her this one. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. You can also catch out, watch this whole podcast on our KS95 YouTube channel. Just search KS95 Vids, and you can find us there. It's better to watch it just because of Paul Folger's faces. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Staci and Hutch say too much. Bye.